So it is suggested that what is timeless. There's no real time. There's no real time, therefore there's no real coming and going, no direction, nowhere to arrive, not even process or progress. There is the appearance of change, but that only seems to present in memory and association. So what is seemingly happening is not really happening. There's no real time. There's no real process or progress. There's no real moving or stillness. There's no real coming and going. There's no real momentum. And there's no real stagnation either. So what is simply undefinable. It can't be talked about. There's no way in which what is seemingly happening is actually comprehensible at all. And furthermore, there's no one or no thing to step outside of what's happening, to view it, to know it, to relate to it and own it. There just is simply, immediately and spontaneously and effortlessly what appears to be happening. So without direction or dimension, without distinction or separation, without time or space, or even a real consciousness, this is already absolutely complete. It is not going or coming or becoming. It's simply boundless. Even to say it is misleading. No word could ever really justify or elaborate, and neither is there a need to justify or elaborate. This is simply all there is. It's free. It's free from any need. It's free from it-abiliness. So what is absolutely no thing. It's there is no thing, and this is everything. So even though this description or explanation or elaboration or even exposure seems to be happening, there's no exposure going on really, because nothing is being exposed. There's just simply timeless expression of what is already complete and whole and fulfilled. And somehow, whatever would seem to be appearing as resistance or craving for something else to happen can simply dissolve into what is already timeless and free. This is suggested to be boundless and energy. Energy, not knowing energy, not knowing anything else other than energy, just absolute boundless aliveness, which is energy, energetic. Freedom from all purpose and direction, free from agenda, free from separation, and yet separation can appear. Why not? There is only liberation on no one's terms.
I'm not sure if there's a question here, but Alexis, you and I talked about my friend that's dying, and I spend time with them in the hospital, and he's just all networked up with tubes and IVs, and it's occurred to me more than once, like the thought comes that in this appearance of life, there's worse things than dying. And clearly that's a preference. and, and even though his quality of life is apparently extremely compromised at this point, and he can't communicate because he has dementia, but his body's clearly in a lot of pain and stuff. And yet he's surrounded by several people that wish his body to keep going. They just wish it to be alive under any circumstances. And in some ways, it reminds me of the me, like the impulse to stay alive at any cost. And the preference is interesting because there's some idea when you guys when y'all say things like there's no better, worse, or good or bad. Like there clearly are tendencies, preferences, and uh, and actually, I've heard all of the speakers say that there are preferences. The characters have preferences, and I don't really have a question about that, except that it just feels like to try to get rid of the preferences is just another me thing in a way, rather than just, oh, yeah, I like to eat chocolate, you know. I mean, or yeah, I'd like my friend not to be lying in a bed shitting in excruciating pain in, you know, a really compromised state. That's my preference, you know, like if that means dying, that's a preference. And I don't know. It's interesting. Like, I'm curious about what comes up for you in relationship to preferences. Yeah.
Yeah, so preferences seem to happen totally regardless of if anyone's having them or not.
Yeah.
The whole good and bad, right and wrong seems to emerge out of a situation where someone's relating to preferences. Like I'm relating to this situation and this is what I think about it. So this is good and bad according to me. But this is just irrelevant. Yeah, so there's just preferences of what's happening. And what seems to maybe happen for some is the neurotic need to remain alive and knowing, and the drive to keep that substantial. And perhaps for this experience, there is a projecting that onto others as well. Like this experience of separation is so important and special and precious in a way. It seems that way to this individual experience. And so it perhaps projects that onto other bodies as well. And so it will do anything it can to keep to remain attached
Mhm.
and connected because it seems to give it a sense of belonging.
Mm. Yeah.
And even the want to end someone else's suffering can also easily be an attachment.
The same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's weird because I trust the impulse to not wish suffering, or to trust isn't the right word, but it seems like the impulse not to create or wish other people suffering. I don't know how to describe that, but it seems simple and
Mm.
but also, yeah, like as soon as something enters that thinks, well, this is the right way, this is the right thing, this is like I don't know how to differentiate that, you know. Like I've seen that if something's happening, like there'll be just a movement towards something without any thought about it at all, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, but it's true. Like I can feel that when I express it, like there is something that's really pissed about the whole thing, and
Mm.
feels like fuck, you know. And of course that's got to be the me, you know, just having a reaction, you know. Well, I don't even know any of that. Yeah, it's just amazing, really.
Yeah. There's no
Yeah.
control in any given situation, and there's no such thing as right and wrong. It's just totally immediately what's happening. There may
Yeah.
still be a preference, of course. There may still be having a say in some sort of matter, but no one's in control of any of it already. Yeah.
Uh, Hi, Alexis.
Hey.
Uh, uh, I mean, we've been like there was silence, and I joined the meeting a bit later as well. Uh, there was a question in my mind to ask. I was thinking, okay, on Monday I'm gonna ask Alexis. There was a listening to something, and there was a question came up, and I was gonna say, okay, I'll ask that question to Alexis. And today, I kind of been thinking, but I forgot what the question was. I've been kind of thinking, come on, damn it, come on, you. What I was trying to like go back to kind of resonate that kind of sense to ask that question, but I couldn't. And there was a kind of a regret uh, with that you know you don't know what to ask or you forgot the question. But now then there was this kind of sense that you are not even here. You never even attending the meeting. So that kind of regret went away. Kind of that you're not even here to. You didn't even attend in the meeting to ask the question.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. So that that kind of that could have should have kind of things. You were never there for any of that. So that kind of sense came up. So just wanted to share that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because you're not happening. And neither is
Yeah,
this. There's just the ineffable.
yeah, yeah,
All importance to get questions answered and things figured out and problems solved is just simply illusory, exposed, and perhaps just dissolves into what is already.
yeah,
In the end, there are no answers or questions.
yeah. Yeah. There is a kind of I know the kind of resonate with what you just said and everything, and that is kind of a, a like a breath of fresh air of that resonance that uh, no regret and nothing like that. But still, it does want to kind of okay. Now what? No,
Yeah.
kind of want to conclude something.
Mm.
Uh, the seemingly yeah.
Wants to get somewhere else, which is also this appearing as wanting.
Yeah. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Just
That's where my dad was raised, in Birmingham, Alabama.
yeah. There you go.
So there are no layers to this. It is suggested that this is indefinable, inexpressible splendor, aliveness. So there's nothing that's more this or less this than anything else. So if craving and wanting and seeking and striving is happening, resisting what is, this is this. And if Nothing is happening. That's this too. There is only this. So then in that respect, there's nothing to figure out. There's nothing to get. There's nothing to achieve or become. No solution, no problem, no predicament. Just this, timeless, already, free. Much love.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Alexis.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alexis.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thursday
see
and
you.
Friday are happening. Thursday and Friday Zooms are happening.
Woohoo!
Cool.
Yeah.
Very
Thank
cool.
you.
Just to let you know.